Say it hurt, say you're lonely, say I forgot to give you what you need. Well, I promise you, God, yet I haven't to hold. I was bound to, I couldn't give any more, 'cause it's already yours. Look around you, look around you. So do you remember me in those moments just before you? I know you remember me. Swear to me the memory is as promise me that it doesn't make your heart beat. Oh, doesn't make your heart beat. Well, I know you know me. Ah, baby, we don't even gotta speak. Only hear the same issue. What you feel it too. All you gotta do is reach. Well, nothing you ever say that could drive me away. I'm inside you, I'm inside you. So if you make a mistake, let me carry you away. I'm beside you, I'm beside you. So do you remember me in those moments just before you? I know you remember me. Swear to me the memory is as promise me that it doesn't make your heart beat. Oh, doesn't make your heart beat. I'm here when you want me, when you want me. There's no place I'd rather be. You may not know it, may not know it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean I know you remember me in those moments just before you. I know you remember me. Swear to me, swear to me. Promise me that it doesn't make your heart beat. No, it doesn't make your heart beat.